Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, how are you? Welcome to another live this morning. And we appreciate it. Appreciate our audience all the time. We can't tell you enough how much you mean to us. And you're like part of the family. So as a few folks come on here this morning, let me say hello to Brahim from Portland, Oregon. Good morning, Brahim. Nativity, good morning. We appreciate you guys. Lori Lee, Ventura, California. Sandra from Aurelia. Madeleine, good morning. Jeanette from our staff. And somebody went by, I missed it, Mary from Norwich. Nick from our staff. And Jerry, Nouveau Brunswick. Wendy from Markham, good morning. Nellie, we love you guys. And Gary from Bolton. Andrea, Nouveau Brunswick. Zian, Thunder Bay. And with Carol, how are you? Joanne, I got to look closely because Sandy, Chilliwack, British Columbia. Janet, Beamsville. Yeah, Brahim said, this is my family here. Maureen, how are you? And Chantal from Ottawa. Jackie, Maureen was from Boca Raton. Wanda, Virginia. Maryland, Donna, Bell Valley. And Yvonne Petawawa. And Sandra, good morning from Brampton. Marnie, Mississauga, Smoky, Mississauga. Judy and John, good morning. Yolande, bonjour. Kadichu, how is you? Natalia from Tirana. And Crystal from Calgary. Kevin, you get... Kevin, I can't see it. I'm not kidding. It's only the second time around. Dorothy, how are you? Sharon, Kansas, and she's saying it's smoky. Is that right? Even down there, right? Francis, Susan, I know in New York yesterday was crazy. Marcy, Mara, and Nancy, Iowa. Good morning, Iowa. Saskatoon, Victoria, Rain, in Michigan. Gertie, how is you? Burlington, Veronica, nice to have you guys on. Susan, appreciate it. Leela from Verner. And Rosa, Moriad, right, Rosa? And Helga, Zian from Earlton, Ontario. Dale, and a couple of more guys. Hey, there it is, Dr. McEwen. How is you? I always miss you. Saudi and Fran, Orangeville. Babika, good morning to you. We appreciate it. Yeah, you don't see Kevin either, eh, John? And that was, I missed it. Lorraine, how are you? British Columbia. And Barbara. Josephina. And was that Nativity there? Denise, how are you? Guys, thank you very much. Let's talk about war. Okay. Oh, we got a lot of wars going on. Never mind just the Ukraine. Okay. And, but there's been a war, guys, especially in nutrition, on truth. Okay. A real war. And as long as you understand that, as long as you understand there's a war going on, it really helps. Okay? We've talked about, in the last couple of years, especially since the virus, there's been a tremendous pushback on vitamin D. A real war on vitamin D. And it's at every level now. It's at the pharmaceutical level. They're pushing back. They don't like it that, physicians and research people were saying, man, vitamin D might have been a huge help during the pandemic. Would have been a huge help. And guys, you know it. I said it on day one. On day one, you know where I was on day one? I was in Florida when they were shutting everything down, including the beaches. I was on the beach in Hollywood, Florida, screaming like John the Baptist. Guys, I took virology. Okay? And day one in virology, you know what you learn? The best thing for a virus is to get in the sun. The police came. It was like a scary scene from like a movie you'd be watching, a disaster movie or whatever, a scary scene, the police coming to tell us they were closing the beaches in Hollywood, Florida. Like, I was not only getting a migraine because of the stupidity of it. It was asinine. I was beside myself. I said, surely they're not doing that. So there was a big war. And that war started on vitamin D. I was the guy saying, Canadians, of course you couldn't travel. Ooh. Anyway, come down to Florida and sit on the beach. And you got nothing to worry about when it comes to COVID. You can actually sit beside each other. You know, that 6-foot thing was craziness. Wearing a mask for a virus. Now, you got smoke in the air. If there was any time you can wear a mask, it is now. A mask was made for smoke, not for a virus. Oh, anyway, guys, look, I know I'm opinionated, but I'm telling you, you guys have been following me. I've been consistent. Now, I didn't want to get sidetracked on the only war is the war on vitamin D. But there's a war. Just be cognizant of it and listen. People are going to try and scare you skinny to stop vitamin D, or at least be very careful because you're going to die if you take vitamin D. It's so toxic. And yet, there's no one, and I mean no one, sitting in the emergency rooms of Canada or the United States because, oh, I know why you're here. You got too much vitamin D. Sit in the sun, no sunscreen, for 20 minutes. Expose your arms and legs especially, and you're going to get 10,000 IUs. That's a fact. Why do you think I named the book Sun? I started with that. Steak and Steel. But there's a war going on. As long as you know about it, you'll be all right. Don't buy it. Because the world out there, a lot of them buy it. If it's on the news, must be true. And that's the way they operate their whole lives. They don't think past it. And like I said, vitamin D would have kept, and this is, guys, this is not me saying it. This is research proving it. Had people been given vitamin D during the pandemic, it would have given them immunity like you would not believe. Anyway, That ship has sailed, and I understand that, but it's not any less infuriating for me to have to report what went on. Get in behind the scenes. This is what this program does. Go behind the scenes and see why they're doing it. And see how they're doing it. There's a big war going on. That's on vitamin D. There's another war going on. Okay? And this war, there's been a war on cancer. President Nixon in the 1970s declared war on cancer. We're going to get to the bottom of it. We're going to win the war on cancer, said the president. I remember it like it was yesterday. And was I skeptical? Even in the 70s? Listen, guys, cancer's complicated, okay? It is. Cancer's complicated. But here's what we know. Okay, here's what we know. Cancer feeds on sugar. Okay, it's complicated. How you get it, it's complicated. But you know me, I've been so consistent about teaching. Listen, lower growth hormones. Insulin is a growth hormone. Estrogen is a growth hormone. Lower those hormones. Lower them. Because they're growth hormones. Get your vitamin D up. It's important for your immune system. Okay? Look, like I said, cancer's complicated. But when they're looking, and guys, here we are today, 2023. The war on cancer. You can't win it with this strategy. You can't. Because there's no talk since the declaration that we ought to throw away our cigarettes. That was a good thing, guys. I agree with that 1,000,000%. Throw away the cigarettes. Out. We did a good thing. And a lot of people got the memo. Not everybody. Now they're encouraging, at least in Canada, marijuana. Oh, I get it. Oh, guys, you have no idea how that drives me insane. Okay. Not because it's just a gateway drug. A lot of people start smoking that stuff. Taking a trip without leaving the farm. Oh, I can't handle it. But the war on cancer has included, the biggest mistake, in my opinion, okay, because they don't talk about nutrition at all. As a matter of fact, if you get cancer, they give you Boost. You're taking treatments and you can't eat very well. Here's some Boost. Here's some ensuring that you're going to die from this cancer. Imagine. Cancer feeds on sugar, and then they give it to you on steroids. They give you sugar on steroids. You know what sugar on steroids means? You drink sugar. Worst thing you can do. I mean, sugar is bad. It suppresses your immune system. I've talked to you about that in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition in 1973. 1 can of soda will put your immune system to sleep for 5 hours. Your white blood cells are in a coma. Your white blood cells that fight cancer go into a coma for 5 hours. A can of Coke or a glass of orange juice. What's the difference? Or Ensure or Boost. It's putting your immune system, it's feeding the cancer. Plus, a double whammo, it's putting the immune system in a coma. Guys, you might think I'm angry. You're right. You're right. I'm angry about it. The war on cancer. How can you win this war? With stupidity. I think I've met two. Yeah. In my lifetime of practice. Oncologists that knew anything about nutrition. That ever tied cancer with nutrition. I think I've met two of them. Did you hear the wood? When I knocked my head? Guys. And now, okay, you got a war on vitamin D. You got a war on cancer. We're losing. Cancer's worse than ever. And another reason we're losing the war on cancer is because we're not into prevention, we're into detection of cancer. And I'm not against detection of cancer, don't get me wrong. But if you wait till you get cancer and they detect it, well, doesn't it make sense that we should try and prevent it before we get it? But the whole industry, the cancer industry, is set up on a premise of early detection. Not prevention, detection. Because if they were into prevention, they'd be talking about vitamin D. They would be talking about eliminating sugar. I mean, for heaven's sakes, they know what a PET scan is. How does it even operate? A cancer detector. You need sugar to even operate the machine, the imaging. I remember telling an oncologist that one day, because she was mad at me. She was mad at me. Dr. Martin, who do you think you are? I said, listen, Linda, her name wasn't Linda. I sent that patient to you. Oh, she didn't know that. I said, yeah, well, I referred that patient to you. I suspected that she had cancer. And she was upset because I had talked to that patient about nutrition and she couldn't see the connection. What's nutrition got to do with breast cancer? And she's mad at me. I said, Doc, I referred that patient to you. Okay? Don't get mad at me. And I had to remind her, I said, we have it here in our hometown in Sudbury. We have a PET scan. I said, Doc, how do you like that new imaging? She said, oh, it's great. It really is. I said, how does it work? What? It's imaging. I said, no. How does it work? She didn't know. I said, well, they give them glucose. They give them a cup of sugar. Drink it before we put you in the machine. Or IV glucose. I said, Doc, why? Again, I don't know. I said, because if you have cancer, you'll light up like a Christmas tree, whether it's in your brain or your toes. Because sugar is going to go right to the site. Why? Because cancer needs fuel. The war on vitamin D, the war on cancer, losing. The war on heart disease, we're losing that. Still the number one killer. They're in cancer. They're neck and neck, coming around the curve. They're neck and neck. Heart disease. It's not better. Cancer's not better. In spite of the gazillions of dollars. It's a pet peeve of mine, by the way, is cancer societies. Wear pink, ladies, for breast cancer. I think we should be wearing black. We're losing. Breast cancer's worse than ever. Wear pink. Why? Where's the money going? Where's the money going? The war on cancer, Dr. Martin. You know, they come to my door to raise money or whatever. And I go, well, I don't think we should be wearing pink. I think we should be wearing black because we're losing. And I know you guys mean well. You know, these poor volunteers, they don't know. I said, did you guys ever look at your financial statements? They're online. 90% of the money doesn't go to research. It goes for marketing and salaries. How about we do a research study on vitamin D? How about we do a research study sponsored by the Cancer Society? Let's eliminate sugar and let's see what happens. Well, good luck with that. Good luck with that. Guys, the war. There's a war going on. You better get in behind the scenes and understand what's happening. And people are dying as a consequence. It's a huge industry. And I'm not saying this, please don't come at me and tell me that Dr. Martin said that, you know, people don't care in those industries. I didn't say that, and I mean it. It's not that they don't care, it's that they're being duped. They're being duped. And they can't think outside the box. They're programmed almost like zombies to carry the same message. We're going to win the war on cancer. Well, holy moly. Since the 1970s, to me, if my math is correct, we're up to 50 years now. Half a century, and it's worse than ever. I'm not negative, guys. I'm just telling you the truth. You know? Somebody stopped me on the street the other day that knows me. Can you talk to my friend whose son is dying of an aggressive cancer? Like, listen. Well, once that's happening, like that it's so sad. Guys, I'm a people person. I just breaks my heart when I hear stuff like that. I'm a people person. And I don't say anything. He said, yeah, get them to call me. I mean, do everything you can. I'll show them what I would recommend them to do. But I would much rather get that cancer early or before. And we're seeing all these aggressive cancers. Sad. But nobody talks about prevention. There's a war going on. It's not just in the Ukraine, my friend. There's a war going on. Okay? There's a war going on vitamin D. There's a war going on on cancer. There's a war going on heart disease. It's a war. And this war has been going on for a long time. It's a war on fat. It's a war. Now it's really coming out. There's a war on meat. Meat and the environment. This is the new twist now. Meat is bad for the environment. Watch it. From Bill Gates to, the medical associations, meat, you better just cut back on meat. We all know how bad it is for you. It's bad for your heart because it's got cholesterol. It's bad for cancer because meat causes cancer because it makes you acidic. Do you see my blood pressure going up when I hear stuff like that? Can you see it? Is it visible? My blood pressure goes up. Meat. The war on meat. They want you to eat their meat. Crickets. Oh. You know what, guys? For me, I know, and you guys, you don't buy it. Okay? I've been teaching you for years the disconnect between meat and heart disease. It's a disconnect because it doesn't connect at all. It's sugar. It's crappy carbohydrates. It's the growth hormones of insulin. I've been teaching you that. So that when you see the war going on in the news, in the mainstream stuff, you're well equipped. You go, nah, that's not true. When someone tells you not to eat meat, run. Run. I get a lot of feedback, guys, okay? Which I appreciate. I want your feedback. We invite your feedback. Somebody said, Dr. Merrill, what about the Daniel diet? Okay? They know I read the Bible. I said, well, read it again. Go to Daniel chapter 1. And you'll find out that Daniel, for a couple of weeks, he avoided meat. But you know why? Because that Babylonian meat was sacrificed to idols. And as a good little Jewish boy, he didn't want that. You're not made to eat plants alone. You're just not. Your anatomy. We put out an email this morning on acidity in the stomach. And the problem in the world is you either use it or you lose it. The war going on meat. You're supposed to eat meat. You're not a cow. A cow eats grass, so you don't have to. Okay? Let the cows eat the salad. Okay? Okay, if you want to have a little bit of salad. But cows are meant to eat salad. They got 4 stomachs for it. You don't. You're meant to eat meat. And a human being's acidity in the stomach is so stinking low. It's high acidity, but the pH of it, I mean, okay, is very low. It's lower than a lion's. What? Yeah. And the lion lives on meat. But we have a very low acidity. Okay? Acid, you gotta have a low pH, I mean, very high acid. And the problem in our world is people, because there's a war on meat, there's a war on cholesterol, there's a war on it, people are eating the wrong foods. I always tell my little vegetarian friends, I used to get hundreds of them in the office, especially young generation, okay? And I love young people. If I'd have known grandchildren were that much fun, I'd have had them first. I love my grandchildren, but they're being duped. They go to school and, well, you know what? Meat's bad for the environment, and meat's got cholesterol, and meat is acidic. And then medical schools teach it. Dietitians teach it. Well, we got to eat the Canada's food guy. Oh, yeah, well, okay. Look at our population and see how stinking sick we are. The proof in the pudding is when you don't eat meat and you live on carbs, or you're a vegetarian, you know what? They eat 10 times more grains and wheat than they should. Man, I used to test for that. We don't buy it. So I wanted today, I know it's philosophical, but I just wanted to bring to you. Let's get in behind the scenes and understand what's happening here. And when you get all that negativity about vitamin D, when you get all that negativity about meat, and even eggs, you know, they'll give you a few eggs, but limit it. And there's a real war going on dairy too, to eliminate dairy. Don't ditch dairy, switch dairy. Don't ditch it. Now, you tell the farmers out there, okay? Give them a message from Dr. Martin, okay? They owe me. You tell them that. I'm the farmer's best friend. I'm telling you, my friend, the war on farmers has started. Watch the news. The war on farmers. Coming to a theater near you. Get in behind the scenes. That's what's happening. Yep, that's what's happening. Okay, let me breathe. Okay, I just took a deep breath. You know what tomorrow is? Question and Answer Friday. Get your questions in. We appreciate it. We love you. More than you know. Okay, talk to you soon.